Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Today, we're talking about, well, where I've been for the last couple of weeks, but also what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum and why are things heading up and what it's all related to. And it's pretty much the dollar. And we'll get to that in a minute. But before I get to that, I want to give you an idea of where I've been and where I'm heading and where things are going on. But let's see, I think my last video is almost a week ago. Mostly because I was at the Litecoin Summit. I was there with Patrick, Divvy Daddy, and myself, and a number of other newer friends and some old ones too. It was a lot of fun. It was out in Las Vegas, and that's usually a fun spot to be. We got to meet Charlie Lee, which I'd never done before, which was nice, and his brother Bobby, who's doing some great things too. And we got to talk to both of them. Talked to a number of different influencers. Saw a couple familiar faces like Rice Crypto and Mame Crypto and a few others that I recognized. Made a few new friends as well, like Tom Crown and Crypto Jack, and lots of people. I mean, I can't name them all, and I feel bad whenever I mention somebody because I usually leave somebody out because I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But it's a lot of fun in Las Vegas. It was a good event. Jim Flanagan was out there. A lot of the people names that I've seen before that have worked with Litecoin a lot. It was a good event, good presentations, 2 days of good conference, good talking. And that's where I've been last few weeks. So post a lot of stuff on Instagram and a little bit of Telegram and also on Twitter. But it's tough to keep up when you're at an event and you're trying to meet people and you're having conversations and catching up with things. And you wish you could be in two places at once. And fortunately, Patrick and I were able to split up, divide and conquer a little bit. But you get tired. I mean, it's these conferences do take some time. So, and this is the first time I've been back home in my studio in almost 3 weeks. I went from the event, the EconomicPreppers event down in Dallas, which was a big hit. It was the first time that we did it. All the feedback is positive. Thank you for all that. We're looking at doing our next event already in 2023. That was a great event. That was down in Dallas. That was almost 3 weeks ago now. And then from there, I went out and spent time in Oregon with Patrick. And then we went to Vegas to the second conference. But all that travel and all that time takes its toll. I mean, I took the red eye home Sunday night. It took me pretty much all day Monday to kind of get back to normal and get my bag squared away because they lost a bag. I almost missed a connection. I ran to the gate, made my connection. My bag didn't, but they delivered to me today. So thank you, United, for taking care of that. But not being home for almost 3 weeks, it does add up to after a while. And as much as I'd like to travel and meet new people and be out there and help the promotion, the adoption, and further the message on crypto and silver and gold and real estate and talking about all these different things that's going on in the economy and the big picture, it can be taxing and tiring. So there's not going to be an AMA this week. I know that Patrick has an event that he's not going to be able to be there. So we're pushing off of the AMA this week, buying back a Wednesday. And we're like, I've already talked to a number of my subscribers about that. And we're going down to 2 a month. That's just for subscribers. We still have one for Patreon. That's going to be one of the two. And I think we're going to, the free YouTube one, that's going to be, unfortunately, going to be cast by the wayside. I may do a live show now and then, and we can chat there. But I'm also looking at doing a show with Patrick and launching that on another platform because this one can't always say what you want to say. But what I do want to talk about today, so stay tuned for all that and other stuff. But let's talk about why is Bitcoin going up? Why is Ethereum going up? What it's all related to. And let's take a look. So let me share my screen and go through a number of different stories here. Let's see. Is that the right one? No, this one. All right. So do it that way. And that's not a good picture. We can scroll up. There we go. So according to CoinDesk, Bitcoin's over $20,000. Ethereum surging, highest point since the merge. And everybody's just saying, hey, this is great, but they're not saying why. So everything is it's a green day. Everybody's happy. But I wanted to start to explain why this is happening. This is kind of the reason why we look at all these different economic things now, and we have to look at the big picture. You see right here, Bitcoin is at over 20,000, almost up 5%. Ethereum's up 10. Binance is up almost 6%. They're green. So why is that? Well, let's take a look at the DXY, which is the Dixie, which is the dollar average. It's basically a bucket of currencies compared to the dollar. So think the euro, the yen, the won, the pound sterling, all these other currencies compared to the dollar. If you look at the trend all year long, right, it's been up, 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 up. Okay, but now we may have hit a peak and starting to come down. And if you look closely today, at about when markets opened in the 8:30, 9 o'clock time frame, Dollar went down from 112 down to 111, went down 1%. It's hinting that that was a significant move as the markets opened, and then kind of tabled out there. So why do we care about this bucket of currencies? Why about the dollar? So this is a couple of charts I wanted to share. This goes back to 2012, and the blue line is the dollar, the Dixie, and the black line is Bitcoin. And if you notice, like the boxes right here show you that when the dollar heads down, Bitcoin tends to head upwards in market, and it's happened in 2014. This is a big picture too. 2017 to 2018, that was the bull rally that everyone's most familiar with. And then it kind of happened again when Bitcoin started to go up in the middle of 2020. But then this kind of trails off. So the question is, what's happening now? What has happened since then? This is another view of it. So this kind of gives a better picture. So you can see, again, here's the clear. The red is the Bitcoin. The blue is the Dixie. The dollar goes up. Bitcoin kind of goes down. You see the Mt. Gox issue in April and May, and April 14 to March of 2015. Dollar shot up. Bitcoin went down. You got the Mt. Gox issue. And then you had a similar repeat of December of 2016 to January of 2018. Huge crypto bull run of 2017. The dollar declined again. Dollar went up, kind of went into a bear market. And then we get to 2020 in March. What happens next? So that's where I started digging for other charts. This is a chart from Cointelegraph. This goes from middle of 2020, I'd say. That looks to be July, September. That's not a great chart. It's 2022, but it starts to show you the correlation. The better chart I found was I made one on my own from TradingView. So I went to 2020. Let's think this is a 3-year chart. This is a weekly chart of the dollar, which is the red and green, and compared to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, you see Bitcoin went on a nice bull run. Let's see. I'm sorry. That's back. That's correct. Yeah, the Dixie is this one. You can see the Dixie is starting to top out, it seems, the last few weeks. Whereas it went on a bull run, whereas Bitcoin kind of tapered off. And that was in early of 21. And then it came down and went back up again. But it really started to come down from the end of 21 downwards to where it's about today. And you can see the correlation of this time period here. So if I put this line right here, you can see from middle of November 2021, Bitcoin went from a plus 16% down to, well, the ratios aren't quite right. So Bitcoin was up 600% on this time frame, down to only plus 145. I probably could do a better measurement of this, but you get the general idea. Bitcoin hit its peak. Let me just pull up Bitcoin chart. And if I go a 5-year chart, so you can see we had a peak here, and again in April, and then the end of 2021. That's where in October, November, that's when we're in the 60,000s, and then it starts coming down. So if I go back to that chart, and so October, November, it's about here, the peak of Bitcoin, and you can see the dollar. The dollar was not that strong. If I go back to the dollar chart and go back to November 2021. And I'll have to go here. So I go to the 1 year. So the 2021 in November, the dollar was about in the mid 90s. Now it got over to like 115 and started to come down. So going back to this chart again, you can see that the dollar got to a high point and it seems to be topping and coming back down. It would appear. This is a weekly chart. So you can see that's been pretty flat for the last month or two. And the idea is that the dollar might be topping out. And what can that mean? I'll talk about that in a minute. But I just wanted to point out a few other articles that are going on right now of how much turmoil there is in economic markets. And these are the sorts of things that we need to keep an eye on. So I looked through the Zero Hedge, all the different articles. Home prices, they're plunging the most since 2009. Orange juice prices soar as inventories collapse. So that's kind of like the prices of groceries and inventory. It's the supply chain issue. You've got American consumer sentiment is an 18-month low. People are not happy with the way that the economy is going. And then finally, the Bank of England and Japan both intervened in their economies, and that's not going well. So let me drop out of sharing my screen here now and just talk for a moment. So how does this all come together, and why do we all have to become amateur economists in this world? Well, when you're talking about crypto, like, there hasn't been a lot of movement in Bitcoin in the last several months, but now the dollar seems to be peaking out. And if you go back to those charts, you can see, well, I'll share my screen one more time. That would be this one. There we go. This one. Yeah. There we go. So if I go back to, I think it's this one. Oh, where's that? Too many charts. And it's the wrong window. There we go. Got it. Okay. Let's make sure that I'm sharing the right thing. Yes, I am. Okay. So if you look at this, right, in the last year, I'll say, Bitcoin has gone down and run sideways. It just went down, 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 and ran sideways. It has been pretty much in this channel here. If I show the Bitcoin chart in the last 6 months, it's been pretty flat, between, let's see, it was 22,000 and between 17 and 22,000 for the last, I don't know, 5 months, 4 months, 5 months. Pretty boring. But if you go back to the other channel, you've got this pretty stagnant area, but the dollar was just increasing. But now we're suspecting it's a top. If you go back to the historical chart, which I had, if the dollar tops out, the blue line tops out, it starts heading down, then you could be looking at a crypto bull run. And that's what I wanted to talk about, and just drop out of here and just say, this is what we could be looking for. So this could be an indicator that we're about to go in another crypto bull cycle. I'm not saying tomorrow. This is not financial advice. I'm not saying it's going to happen this week or next or the week after, but we do have a lot of economic events going on. We have a lot of turmoil in the world. We have concerns all over in the economy, from prices of gas, groceries, everything. We have world issues. We have, this is why I need to go. This is why we need to go to a different platform. But you know what I'm talking about. There's lots of things happening on the world stage. We have leaders changing. We have an election in about a month, less than a month, a couple weeks here in the United States. There's a lot going on. So they're trying to hold that Bitcoin price as stable as possible while everything else is kind of maxing out, topping out. But if you're looking for an indicator of where we could be heading into a bull run after, say, I don't know, November 8th or 9th, then that dollar topping out and starting to come down could be indicative of a bull run about to come. So that's what I wanted to share. And this is the reasons that we, I say we, like Dylan, myself, Patrick, why we become amateur economists, and we need to look at the big picture beyond just crypto, because it's not just about crypto. Crypto is escape from the dollar. So is silver, so is gold, so are other things if you buy them properly. But what's really happening on the world stage is that the countries that are dependent upon central banks and fiat currencies, they're struggling, and they can't control things the way that they used to, because this is the downward spiral and potentially the death of the fiat system and the central banking system. Cross your fingers. So if that happens, crypto, silver, and gold are probably going to take off. And that's why we need to talk in the economic preppers kind of conversation that we're going to start continuing further on. So a lot said today. I want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to think about, looking at the dollar market and the other things going on in the economy, and where you think we're heading. Is this the start of the bull run and we just don't know it yet? Time will tell. But for all that said, I'm going to close the drawer in the bureau, say follow leader one more time, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.